Hey, all right, we got video one here, video one ever. So it'll go well. I'm excited to do this and start it. 2025 goals. 2025 is about to end. One of my goals was less screen time, and then I wrote this thing. I think I wrote create more, consume less. I did a really bad job of that in 2025, so I went full crash out mode, and I went to Apple Store. Whoops, there's my boy Rafael Nadal, my old background, and I switched my primary line from an iPhone to a flip phone, TCL Flip 3. So I couldn't even get like a cool Verizon Razor. This was all they had. So I'm creating this YouTube partially as a journal. We're gonna call it Life Notifications. I was proud of that name. I thought about offline notifications or life notifications. Went with life notifications. We're gonna create this. I'm gonna talk through what I'm noticing and like the changes. Uh, it could evolve. It could, it could kind of fizzle out. Who knows? I don't want this to be like some enlightenment thing, and I don't want to. I'm not gonna try and give advice. It's a journal for me, partially, and then it's also a way to try and hit some of those goals of creating stuff, trying stuff. But trust me, I'm not gonna be like super enlightened. The brain is full of Instagram memes, tweets, um, YouTube videos, right? Like all sorts of silly stuff. And I'm gonna miss that. And I actually kept my iPhone, so I'm not gonna totally go cold turkey. It's just that it's not gonna be my primary phone. If I know where I'm going, I don't need GPS. If I'm not having beers with friends, I'm not gonna need Uber. I'm gonna try and keep it off me as much as humanly possible. But I'm gonna, like I said, don't expect me to give advice or like that this is better. And definitely don't expect like some enlightened dude or like modern wisdom vibes. I like that podcast, but this isn't it. This is more like what I'm noticing. I am a pretty optimistic dude, so if it seems like I'm like spinning it in a better way, there could be that, but that's not the goal. So I've told some friends. I added a couple of the key homies to my flip phone, and have texted. First question: Why'd you do this? Uh, I want less screen time, plain and simple. My on a good week, I was still averaging 5.5 hours of screen time a day. A bad week would be like 7.5. I probably broke the 8. Sometimes like it would be. It's like I didn't even look at when I got the notification for my screen time. I wouldn't even look at it because I was like not excited. It's like when you're trying to budget and you're not doing good or you're trying to lose weight. It's like you don't step on the scale. That's basically what I was doing. I was just avoiding it. So, you know, if you're trying to lose weight, don't keep cookies in the house. If you're trying to cut down on drinking, don't keep beers in the house. And definitely don't walk around with a beer can in your hand. So I just went full change and I went into Verizon to change it and get this flip phone. The salesperson was great. It was kind of funny on the front end. It felt like an improv skit, right? Where like in an improv, sometimes you give a negative, and you're like, amazing, yes, and that's what I want. But I just remember her being like, it's gonna be really hard to text people. It's like amazing. That's I want that. Thank you. I want friction. She's like, people will come in and then we can't switch your names over. You're gonna have to do all that yourself. I was like, that's perfect as well. I don't want that. She's like, she kept on naming off all these things, a couple more. I think she was just trying to, I don't know. I mean, it didn't like change the bill a ton, but I don't know what she's graded on. But needless to say, those moments of friction, those points of friction, that's a net positive. I've tried the brick, I've tried app blocking apps, time blocking apps. I fought through them. I felt like, you know, uh, I could be taking Ozempic and still eat a ton. I couldn't help it. I needed my Twitter. I still have it, right? I mean, like there's gonna be moments where I look at Twitter, but if I can keep now my screen time on that under an hour, under 2 hours, and then I'm using it truly where that that 15-minute scroll on Twitter feels like that great rush, or that 15 minutes on Instagram feels amazing. It's good. If I start going over that, we'll figure out new plans. But I'm just carrying around the flip phone anytime I'm going somewhere I know and I don't need directions. Just the flip phone. I'm trying to keep it in this room. This is my office where I work. I work from home. Um, so I'm trying to even just like keep it out of my sight during the day. Where weekend, I do think that hour goal will be very, very manageable as my brain rewires and I get more used to this. So I used to take a lot of notes on the Notes app on the phone. I went to Amazon and just got a bunch of these. These fit in my pocket. So I just took some notes on like week one notifications, what I'm noticing, things I thought would be good to say in video one. All right, day one. Even so, I get home. I've got my flip phone. I leave my iPhone at the house. I walk my dog. Lots of discomfort, like a shocking amount of discomfort. That first hour, it felt like it was a really bizarre feeling. I felt like my chest was tightening as I was walking my dog. I could feel it. Really surprising. That has totally subsided. I was just shocked at how aggressive that was to start. Another thing I wrote down from day one, texting on T9, if you're a millennial, does not like the skill set, right back in it. You will. I did not lose that at all. So that was great. And yeah, I just kind of really wrote down like 7 hours a day. Like if this is like, I need new distractions. This is that. I can't act like I'm like, I'm now creating a business that's going to save the world, or reading, enlightening books. I need distractions. I still pick up the flip phone a lot. I've also realized how fun it is to get a text, like the OG when we first got our phones, my age group, and you got a text. How exciting that was. That's coming back. It's really fun, and it's doubly fun because sometimes I'll get a text from a number I don't know, and I can either try and guess, or just straight up tell them, yeah, got a flip phone. Numbers didn't transfer over. Lots of reopening the presents there. Okay. I also wrote down green text shallow. I can't lie. I remain nervous. Like, I know the green text ick, or whatever it's called. I hope that doesn't call out, but I'll take the trade-off. I really will. But it's shallow. That was one of my biggest concerns, was green text bubbles. That tells you how shallow I need to get. That says more about me. No one else. I'm gonna fight through it though. Maybe that'll be my new goal, is like who can win the most on the green text bubbles. All right, day two. Even just by day two, I did feel like I was like reaching for it less, or needed it less. Driving around listening to the radio, kind of fun, but kind of all the songs sound very similar. I know that's probably a boomer take. Some of the ways the hosts have different things. Some of those shows, they need some help. I can't even read some of my handwriting. Still looking for distractions. Something was a cool feeling. Who knows? All right, a couple things I'll call out. Less distractions number of distractions at the gym. I was thinking of this. When I went to the gym, I would have my iPhone. I'd have my AirPods in. So Spotify. So I'm listening to music. I'm looking around at all the people. In between sets, maybe I'm looking at Twitter or Instagram, or YouTube. It was just crazy the amount of distractions I was thinking of in a gym environment. Some that I'm actively looking for. And so I'm still looking for them, right? Like in between sets, so I get a text. Am I looking for people to talk to? Just so much different stuff. Also, like if I see somebody in a cool outfit, cool pair of shoes, what if I just like pull up, Vans.com? Like if I see somebody in a cool pair of Vans, I love lifting in Vans. and I see a pair that I could want, and I go to Vans.com, try and search it, is that $50 that I would have spent. So I'm trying to think of that too. Like, it was very easy to spend money on that, very easy to find rabbit holes that I don't want to be in. I think we can all have those moments. Uh, Another thing, uh, one thing that it is going to just feel like a positive, and once again, I'm not going to push anybody to do it. Do whatever you want. Instagram, some reels are hilarious, memes, great. Overall, I feel a lot less pressure throughout the week, whether that means just talking to a random stranger, whether that means trying this. If this gets 0 views, I do not like it's. If this gets 0 views and it's a business failure, it's a failure. No one likes it. I get hate comments. I won't even like. I'll see. Of course I'll see them. I'll check stuff. I just feel a lot less pressure about everything, and I think I mean more in regards to social and like status stuff. Who's looking at my LinkedIn? Do I have a good job? If I like talk to a pretty girl at the gym and she shuts me down, like, are people then gonna remember me? They're gonna go look at my Instagram and be like, oh, this is the dude that, like, crazy scenarios that I'm creating in my own head. Those are like going few and far between and like getting away. Just talk, right? And it's really hard not to put people on a pedestal or something. If I see someone at a gym, I know they're an influencer. I know they've got 100,000 followers. Who knows? Because sometimes you don't even actively look, but you can find people on these things, right? I'm very encouraged that as each day goes by, I'm feeling that less. It's not like I'm out here Mr. Extroverted talking to everybody and saying dumb stuff and not caring. It's just that, like, I would have moments if I saw somebody and I wanted to talk to them. I would sit there and I'd think about, what am I going to say? Then what are they going to say? Like, what's that interaction going to be like? What do I have to do for it to be a win? And then let's say I just spend all that energy and time thinking about that, and then I don't even talk to them. Then you can start like some other self-talk, like, oh, you scared to like talk to somebody. Who knows? Maybe I'm revealing stuff in my own brain that others can't relate to. But maybe you can. Maybe you can. And if not, if this gets 1 view, 100 views, 0 views, these are good things for me to say to myself and talk through. Uh, oh, I am still somehow looking at my phone a lot when it's 12:34. That's my favorite time of day because 1, 2, 3, 4 gives me some momentum just seeing those numbers in a row. I think that's just a great way to remind myself that I'm divinely protected and that I have a ton of momentum in motion. Okay. Day 4, I wrote not enlightened. So I must have seen some funny memes or something like that. DeJekyll, still my all-time favorite Instagram. Eggs Tyrone. I'm going to find ways to make sure I still see this stuff. But yeah, this is episode 1 of Life Notifications. I haven't really fully thought through. I'm thinking maybe once a week, maybe every Sunday I record this. I was thinking every Sunday write a Substack, put it in writing as well. And once again, it's partially as a good challenge to get comfortable talking, trying this stuff out, caring less, but I'm still gonna put effort into it. But sometimes just trying is as important as whatever the results are. Pixar's 20 Rules of Storytelling. The first rule, we respect the effort more than the results. Might be paraphrasing a little, but I'm glad I did this first one and I'm trying it out. And leave comments. I will see what type of, if any, feedback comes from this, but I'll be happy to comment in chat, answering questions if this is something that you're thinking about pursuing or has been on your mind, because I was addicted to my phone, straight up. 7 hours a day. That's a full-time job, dude. 7 days a week, 7 hours a day, 49 hours a week, looking at my phone. Sad life. And sometimes it was for work. but a lot of times it was not for work. And it was, I had something in mind that I wanted to look at, and then I actually would forget it. And then I'm looking at God knows what. So here's episode 1. Feel free to leave comments. Tell me how cute I am, that it's a great idea, that I've got a nice voice, whatever you see fit. And I'll keep on doing it. My goal, I gotta get 100 videos. I gotta do 100 videos. I gotta do 100, and then we can figure out what we want to do from there. Okay, we're gonna stop it now.